So I have this idea of like, maybe I'm going to do mushrooms at Mohegan Sun. So then I go into the casino and I'm just moseying. I'm just walking around the casino. Things start hitting me. I'm looking at machines, a lot of slot machines I'm going up to. There was a lot of Simpsons slot machines. So I would sit down there and then just watch the little videos and all the things that it tries to suck you in with, but without gambling at all, without money. And then I'd sit there for a little while until I felt like someone's going to eventually be like, hey, you're not spending money. You're just staring at the screen like this. So I get up, move around. I do that for like a half hour. And
you didn't play at all?
Didn't play at all. So then I'm there for, I'm walking around for like a half hour or so. I'm for sure like this is getting to be a little nuts for me. But I made the best decision of my fucking life besides doing them in this casino. I brought my fucking Bose noise-canceling headphones with me, and they were around my fucking neck the entire time, just waiting for the moment when I would not be prepared to be around people in the blim, 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 and all that shit. And I just put it on, and it's fucking into the Spider-Verse I go, my friend. It was,
oh my God.
Dude, it was immediately like, at zero sound.
You must have looked like an Asperger's kid, just walking aimlessly in this casino, just be like, oh, his parents must be having fun, and he's counting machines.
I was not walking, I was dancing, my friend. I put on this playlist that I had on my Spotify, and it was just the best. Like, it was mood uplifting, but like chill. And I was moving around to all the things. So then I'm like, I'm going to walk to the other side of the casino. And things are starting to line up with the music, which is creepy. You know what I mean? Like moods and tones and words and things like that.
Synchronicity.
Exactly. So I start walking. Between the two towers of the casino is this long hallway that has a wall that kind of has green uplighting, essentially like this, right? Except the wall is like weird, like not stucco, but it's got that weird texture to it.
Sure.
So I'm walking past it and I kind of do a thing where I just kind of catch it. And then as I'm like, I look back again and then things are like starting to move and there just happens to be a bench right there.
I love that on mushrooms when you look and you're like, oh, hey, pretty girl.
Yeah.
You notice it and you're like, I'll give that a second gander.
Yeah, exactly. I go, now hold on a minute here. So I sit down on the bench and I'm watching the walls, dude. And the walls are doing a thing where they are starting to move. If I stare at them long enough, they're starting to move. But then like somebody will walk by and it will snap back to just normal. But then like slowly, it's almost as if the hallucinogen, the visuals are like, we don't want anybody else to see what we're showing you. So they walk by and they're like, we're just a wall, And now I'm like, now get back to it. You know what I mean? So dance. So the wall.
You're in a ghillie suit just against the wall.
It's just a bright red room. You're like, that's not. So I stare at that for a while and then I go, that was incredible. What a life. Thank you for this wall. And I get up and I walk to the other side of the casino.
Zip up your pants and you.
I walk to the other side of the casino, and as I'm walking there, dude, I get this moment where it was like, it was one of the first like introspective moments or whatever, where I walk by, and in the middle, I'm talking like way in the back, buried by the poker room, there's this, like, I'm not kidding, 4-foot off ramp from the main carpet that kind of leads you around the outside of the casino that has just got the Connecticut Boxing Hall of Fame, and it's just highlighting two boxers, and they're both like Connecticut legends or whatever. And now I start reading everything I can about these guys' lives because I start getting so upset.
On the internet?
No.
Oh.
There's a full, like, their robe, their boxing gloves, old propaganda, like promotional flyers of them some people are from like the 40s.
Were they Native Americans?
No. They were just regular like white Connecticut boxers. But like one of the guys' names, I wrote this down because I was like, this is actually very sad because these guys were the champion. They were like the top of the world in boxing in
Connecticut.
They were the world.
Oh,
like,
wow.
This is Boxing Hall of Fame, but from people who are from Connecticut, right? This guy, I think Willie Pep, that was one of the guys' name. And then he like fought
P.
Rocky Marciano, all these things. So I started looking at this one guy who was 44-5, Marlon Starlin. That's fun. So I'm sitting there going like, this is so sad that like these guys have built, they were champions. They're champions of the world. And here they are, they have two glass robe cases in a casino in the back of a casino in Connecticut.
Let's be clear, they were vegetables long before this
Yeah, I know.
They have been dead probably for a long time and conscious for longer.
So yeah, I mean, it gets whatever. So that was one of those. Oh, look at that. There you go. So, but I felt so bad for these guys. So I just like, I'm gonna learn about you guys tonight. So I go and do that. So afterwards, now I'm walking back towards the other side, and again, music still the whole time the music's on, still killing it. I get back to the green wall, and now what was once visuals is now looked like a rough ocean, like it was. So I sit down again, and now I'm sitting there. I got different music on, but it's very aesthetically pleasing. I'm having a great time. And then I see out of the corner of my eye, like somebody like kind of like they're standing in my periphery, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting, so they're higher than me, so I just see like knees. So then I like kind of glance, I kind of take I'm just being like, they're probably looking at this wall. So they must see what I see. So I look over, and the person is hunched over, like talking to me, being like, but I have that noise-canceling headphones on. So for the first time in probably 2 hours, I have to take the headphones off and go from like that to being like all of a sudden silent, and now I'm back in real world. yeah, exactly.
Traffic jam, every awful noise ever.
But this is what she goes. She goes, "You're Mike Feeney. You're the comedian."
No.
And I go, "Shit." And she goes, "You're the comedian." And she goes, "Guys, this is him. This is him."
No.
Calls over 4 of her friends aging from 30 to 68, and they're like, "You haven't seen it. We've been walking past you a few times, but we weren't sure if that was you. We wanted to make sure." And they're like,
we've been tracking you for hours. We had no idea if you were okay. You've been slack-jawed licking the carpet for fucking...
So she's immediately like, "You were so great." And dude, I don't know what it was. I'm going like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like, I'm being very empathetic and understanding. But I have like, I'm outside of my body watching me respond. Like, what's the perfect like professional response to wrap this up quick that you could make? And then my mouth just said it. Like, and then they all 4 walk over, and they go like, what's your last name? We want to find you on Instagram and stuff. Like, "Oh, it's Mike Feeney." I was like the Boy Meets World principal. And they go, "The what?" And I go, "Oh, sorry," because they were older. I was like, "Oh, sorry, it's like Laverne and Shirley, Shirley Feeney." And then she just goes, "Yeah, just what is it?" she just was like, I don't know the references, and we don't have to keep doing this. And also, while
Stop trying to be funny, you're off.
Yeah. So while I can't explain this enough, while they're talking to me, I'm sitting down looking up at them, and what's behind them? The green wall. And the green wall is
stroke a furry wall.
Yeah. The wall behind their heads, they're not moving or vibrating, but behind them is a lava lamp where I'm like, "You guys." So I don't know. So then she starts doing this whole thing where she's like, "You were great." She's like, "You were my favorite." And I go, "Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to say." They do that thing where you're like, "That's nice of you to say." And then they kind of go, "All right, have a good night. Don't ask me to take a picture," which I'm like, "I love you so much." And then they start walking, because then I get caught in the camera.
Speaking of Native Americans, they believe they'd steal your piece of your soul.
So they go to leave, and I'm like, "Great."
This is a Goosebumps book.
Yeah.
Just shows how you die.
They just found
and it's them strangling you to death.
They just found an old Goosebumps book in a river, and we're like, "Oh, is this our testament?" So we
Jumanji.
So they go, "We'll see you." So she goes, so they start walking away, but they're going, "No, really, you were our favorite of the night." And I go, "Thank you so much." And then she goes, Don't tell the headliner that." And I go, "Oh, I won't." And I'm putting my headphones back on, and she goes,
"Don't worry, I'll have thousands of people tell the story."
Yeah. But here's why I say it, because my response was so like guy on mushrooms, because she goes, "But I just want you to know that." And I just looked at her and I went, "Received." And then I put my headphones on and went back to looking at the wall.
That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.